Welcome to the video that's gonna change everything, but you're gonna have to wait till the end to know what that is. So something that I haven't really ever done that just is kind of like random things all over the place is how I got from where I started in Colorado to the South to the rescue. And I get asked that question a lot, so I want, Britta, you gotta get out from under there. She's shaking the whole thing. Children, am I right? Girly pot, you got to go. Britta. Oh Lord. We'll scooch over, see if I have any pictures. I'm not really a big picture taker, believe it or not, so I don't have many documentations of my life, but I do have a few. So here's me growing up. I loved cats. I was a cat person. I also was just a general animal person. Girls, Mom is trying to do a video. You're gonna have to deal with it. This is me. I grew up in Colorado, born and raised in Colorado, Colorado Springs. I went to elementary, middle, and high school there. I ended up going to a college that was outside of my hometown in Colorado Springs. But then after my freshman year, I was like, this is too much, I'm coming back. And I came back and finished my undergrad degree in a school very close to where my parents lived. When the time came for graduation, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and at the time I had gotten really involved in research on campus, and it seemed like a logical choice to go ahead and let's pursue a PhD. I ended up applying to Clemson University down in South Carolina, and I got accepted. And so with Dixie, my dog, Dixie, my partner, and we drove from Colorado to Clemson, South Carolina to begin our journey down here. That was in 2014. So from 2014 to the end of 2018, early 2019, I got my PhD. It was a very harrowing experience, I will say. I simplify it saying I started and then I finished, but really it was like an emotional roller coaster up and down throughout the whole thing. To be honest, it never really felt like it was the right thing to do or really what I wanted to do, so I don't know, I just did it. I didn't know what else to do, so I finished it. And when the time came for me to graduate, I didn't even go to my graduation ceremony. It just felt so wrong for me. I was so miserable. I wanted nothing to do with it. I didn't even go to my graduation ceremony. And I stepped away from academic research entirely. But then, so backtrack 6 months. I had started fostering for my local humane society as I was writing my PhD, my dissertation. And that was in August. And I got my first set of kittens and it went wonderfully. One of them got adopted by my friends and the other one got adopted by their first foster family, so it was ideal. And then I got my second set, which were Shadow and Foof, and obviously we adopted them. Ever since then, I just continued to foster. And from the time that I started in August to the time that I founded Miss Dixie's Kitten Rescue in 2019, I started to realize I didn't really like having to give up control to where my kitties found their forever homes to someone else. So I wanted to control that aspect to it. And additionally, I found myself spending a lot of my own personal money on some of their vetting expenses, and my partner was like, why don't we just start a nonprofit and at least you can ask for some donations and we'll just go from there. And I said, okay. And because I have no because my creativity comes in spurts, when I was thinking of a name for the rescue, I just named it Miss Dixie's Kitten Rescue because that was my dog and she loved the kittens and I didn't know what else to do. So it was Miss Dixie's Kitten Rescue, and I started that in February of 2019. Now, the other thing that I had going on, listen kids, if this is a story about anything, it can tell you life is confusing and beautiful and to just kind of go with the flow, you know what I'm saying? But while I was getting my PhD, I started a completely different side business of podcasting all about strength training because your girl used to lift weights. And I started a podcast with one of my dear friends, and we grew that while I was still in my PhD. So when I graduated with my PhD and started the rescue, my initial goal was to build this other business and make that my full-time gig. And so between 2019 and 2021, I built the rescue and this business simultaneously. And of course, you know, each I had help with, each had its own trials and tribulations, and then entered TikTok in 2021. So in 2021, I started posting on TikTok to get more revenue and more interest in adoptions for the rescue. Like, I didn't have it for myself in mind. I wanted to show like the fun side of rescue. I wanted to get people involved in a way that was like exciting, but also I just wanted to share like fun adventures with rescuing cats. And I remember that taking off so fast that just a month or two later, my partner said, I think you need to make a decision. I think you either need to go full force into this rescue stuff, or you need to go full force into your other business. And he said, I think that the rescue stuff is gonna be more worth it in the long run. And so I made the difficult decision in 2021 to pursue the rescue and TikTok full time. And between then and last February of 2022, I posted videos, I shared my life with you guys. We got to meet kittens like Ed and Bugle and Splatter, and we grew as a community and we grew together. And I feel like parasocial relationships are weird, right? They're odd. We don't understand them, what is going on. But I do feel like we've built this wonderful, supportive, and awesome community where everyone is safe. You can ask questions and not feel like they're dumb questions. And we're just all respectful and kind, and I love that. And on top of that, we get to do fun things like the Screamies, and we get to help other organizations and help other people, and it's like, it's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. I'm so thankful that I just listened to my gut and listened to my partner when he said, hey, let's do something different. But I felt like something was missing. I felt like we kept hitting hurdles with the rescue that had only to do with veterinary care and access to veterinary care. In our area, we are very limited in the number and types of vets we have. Although we have a great partnership with our current vet, and I love them dearly. They've been nothing but phenomenal to us and for us, and I cherish our partnership. We still need more vets, and given my background and given that really I kind of wanted to be a vet since I was a little girl, I thought, you know what, I think I can do this. I think I can be a veterinarian. So from January of 2022 until applications were due in September of 2022, was that a little Bobby Sue? I worked on my vet school application. In March, I found out that I had been put on the alternate list for this upcoming school year, so fall of 2023, which means I could still get in or I could not get in. And enough time had passed that I kind of thought, I'm not getting in, so it is what it is. Like, let's just plan for this coming year to do a little bit more veterinary hours, beef up my application, beef up my application, and just apply again in the fall. And yesterday, for those of you who've been following me on Instagram, or if you follow me on TikTok, which a lot of you do, we had our sweet little sugar pop come to us the last few days, and unfortunately we had to say goodbye to him yesterday. As I had gotten off the phone with the vet to go ahead and make the call and let Sugar Pop go because he was suffering, I was getting ready to feed another kitten, and I got a call from the place where my school is at, my potential school is at, and they said, hey, congratulations, you've been accepted into vet school. So this is my big announcement. We're going to vet school. So what does that mean? I don't really know. Yeehaw! I still haven't fully processed it yet. But so that means things are gonna change, right? This was clickbait, but also not clickbait, you know what I'm saying? Things are gonna change. I will be taking on a lot less. There's gonna be a lot more of me sitting down and doing vlogs like this, or just showing you what a day in the life looks like. We'll still get to go on adventures. I still plan to do fun content, but it's gonna look a little different for the next few years because this is so important to me. It's something I've always wanted since I was a little girl. I never thought that I would actually be able to do it or that I was capable of doing it, which is hilarious because I did get my PhD and I still thought I couldn't do vet school. I am terrified. I am excited. I'm just everything. Like, I couldn't sleep last night because my brain already decided we're at vet school, and it was like, get up, you have to go to class tomorrow. Oh my gosh, did you get your books? Did you pack your lunch? And then it started to remind me, like, Britta and Aussie will be 5 when you graduate. Shadow and Foof will be 9 when you graduate. Mama will be 10. Bobby Sue will be 8. Like, oh. it just hit me really hard in the best way possible. I just wanted to share this with you guys because you guys have been on the journey with me from me saying, hey, guess what? I'm gonna apply to vet school to now we're going to vet school. So I start in early August, and yeah, I'm excited to see what this year brings. It's gonna be a wild ride, and I hope you guys come along with me. I love and appreciate all of you. I sincerely mean it from the bottom of my heart. Shout out, children. What's going on back here? She's fighting. I just want to say thank you guys so much for your support of Miss Dixie's. Because of you, we can do what we do, and we're able to help this area that doesn't have a lot of resources. Things are growing and changing, but they are very slow in that progress. And as a final thing, this is for all my people who just feel like they don't belong, or things aren't right, or you're not really sure what it means to be an adult or what life has for you. And I just promise you that it's gonna be okay. Try your best to follow your gut and follow what makes you happy. I know that comes from a very privileged place, and I do understand that. And I recognize and hold that close, but also at the same time, follow what makes you happy. Even if that's just like ice cream and watching a movie with your person, or hugging your cat a little tighter and making space for that in your day, or changing your career path entirely, or fostering kittens. You know, a lot of you guys say that I look and act like Jenna Marbles, and that's because, you know, obviously she raised us and she raised me. And I look to her as someone who did things differently, who went against the grain, who trailed their own path, Aussie, and who was very happy and did it differently. And that's kind of what I've done. So final thoughts. Life is never linear. You're never gonna go, not everyone goes from step A to step B to step C. Okay, I went from A to Z to M to D to L, then back to G, and now we're on to V, which stands for vet school. Okay, this is already way too long. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We're going to vet school, kids. Children, your mom's going to vet school. What are your thoughts? Okay. Okay. Cool. Don't care. Asleep. Goodbye.